very well.
Yeah, we had a designer help us put it together.
Okay. I like how this is highlighted here as well.
Mm-hmm. And you know, I forgot to put the deadline on this.
Oh, right. But I like,
So it's good that
I'm
you're
often
mentioning
asked
it.
about one-year programs
Right,
that someone
right.
could complete, like if they don't match during match day.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
this is a great
that's exactly what we're
opportunity.
thinking about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I have one fair left in Philly
Mm-hmm.
for
Oh, APHA.
Yeah, so if you have some that I could
Yeah. Oh, I do.
hand
I
out.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think whatever I had previously is gone.
Okay, sure.
'Cause
Yeah,
it's
we have,
been-
we have plenty of extra. I don't have it in my office, but someone else has them. I think our student workers. So
Okay.
Trez
Okay,
might have it.
maybe have her send them up to me. Great.
Great.
So, ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hello everyone. My name is Sue Barros, and I am Director of Admissions for Tulane University School of Public Health and Tropical Medicine, located in New Orleans, Louisiana. And today's guest is Associate Professor Amanda Anderson. Dr. Anderson, would you like to introduce yourself to our audience?
Yes, thanks. Thanks, Sue, for having me, and I'm really happy to be here to talk about our Master of Science in Clinical Investigation program here at Tulane. My name is Amanda Heyer Anderson. I am an Associate Professor of Epidemiology as well as the Associate Director of the Tulane Translational Science Institute. I completed my undergraduate degree at the University of Maryland at College Park. And then went on to Tulane to do both my MPH and PhD in epidemiology. And then finally, I went to the University of Pennsylvania for a postdoctoral fellowship where I stayed for a number of years. But I originally come from Silver Spring, Maryland.
I love Silver Spring. I have some friends that live there, actually.
Yeah, it's a great place.
Okay. Well, today's topic is the Master of Science in Clinical Investigation, a degree program in the Department of Epidemiology. And I understand you're the co-director. Let's talk a little bit about the MS in CI, Master of Science in Clinical Investigation.
Yep. So the MSCI is a one-year program focused on the methods of doing clinical research. So it's founded in epidemiology, biostatistics, and study design. So you're aiming to learn more about how to perform clinical investigations and do clinical research. In this program, we not only focus on epidemiology and biostatistics, but we also provide training in ethics and professionalism, critical thinking, how to communicate your scientific findings, and also how to manage a study.
Okay, very interesting. Well, I'm often get the question about degree programs. We have an MS, a Master of Science in Epidemiology, and we also have an MPH, Masters of Public Health. How is an MS different than an MPH?
Mm-hmm. So an MPH is a professional practice degree in public health, and so someone who has an MPH is poised to then go on and do a public health research or a clinical research job. Someone who does the Master of Science in Clinical Investigation has additional training on how to perform clinical research investigations or translational investigations. And the distinguishing feature between the two is that the MPH provides a broader foundation across different public health disciplines. So things like health systems, policy and management, and community health, those are part of the training in an MPH.
Right.
But in this accelerated MS program, the MS in Clinical Investigation, we don't have as much focus on other public health disciplines. It's mainly focused on epidemiology.
Okay, very good. And then even more specifically, how is the MS in Clinical Investigation different from an MS in Epidemiology?
That's right. So thanks, Sue, for pointing that out. We have two Master of Science degree programs in epidemiology. One is the Master of Science in Epidemiology, which is 42 credits, and that program is focused more on analytical methods. And so someone who maybe sees themselves as being a data analyst, someone who wants to do their own analysis of data when they get out into the workforce, they might want to look into that program, as opposed to our MSCI is a focus on clinical epidemiology, clinical research. How do you design and implement those types of studies?
Okay, excellent. More clinical focused.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about the curriculum for this program.
Great.
Okay.
So yeah, just to demonstrate the differences between the two that we were just talking about, this program is 36 credits, so it can be done in 1 year. This program starts in the summer and is finished by the end of the following spring semester. So it truly is a 1-year program. You're done before the summer, the following summer. And the curriculum focuses on epidemiology, so epidemiologic methods, clinical epidemiology. There's a course in clinical and translational research methods, observational epidemiology, clinical trials, as well as meta-analysis. All of those are the epidemiology courses. In addition to those, you'll take introductory and intermediate biostatistics, and then finally a course in the responsible conduct of research.
Very good. So I understand there's also a thesis involved, and there are projects that students can engage in as well.
That's right. So during this 1 year that students are taking courses, they also need to find a project with their advisor or a thesis advisor that helps them get some practical research experience. And so when you come out of the program, you've not only sat through classes and learned that material, you've actually done at least one project with a mentor. These can include anything like a systematic review, a meta-analysis. You can do a secondary data analysis. You can also develop a grant proposal or a research protocol. And finally, some students do get the opportunity to draft a manuscript as part of their thesis.
Oh, that's excellent experience. Okay, now I'm going to ask about funding.
Funding is available for students. There are some merit-based scholarships.
Very good.
So I encourage anyone who's interested in this program to make sure that they keep in mind our priority deadline, which is January 15th of 2020 this year, to make sure that they get full consideration for those scholarships that are available.
Okay. And it's correct that there is no application for this funding, that each application is reviewed for funding are considered for funding during the review process.
That's correct. So if you put your application in for the program through sophus.org, once you do that, if you become accepted into this program, you're automatically considered for the scholarships. And like I said, if you want to make sure to get full consideration, make sure you apply early by January 15th. The next deadline is March 1st, which is our general deadline for summer enrollment into the program.
Okay, so January 15th is the deadline for consideration for funding, but applicants could still apply up until March 1st.
That's right, and there may still be funding available. Students can reach out to us and ask those questions if that would be a consideration for thinking about our program after January 15th.
Okay, and what are outcomes for graduates of this program?
So this program was specifically and primarily crafted to be a really good fit for students who have finished a pre-med program, who are thinking about going on to med school, but want to get some additional experience or training. This provides a really great opportunity for training in epidemiology, which provides the basis for doing clinical research later in life. And so students who want to take a bridge year between undergrad and med school, or students who want to take a 1-year bridge year between medical school and residency, this would be a really great way to provide new skills and an understanding of epidemiologic methods for those students. In addition, anyone who's interested in an accelerated epidemiology program really should look hard at this program. In 1 year, you can gain the skills necessary to become a study coordinator, a project manager. You can get jobs that have titles of epidemiologist. This really provides the training that you need for those types of positions.
This is really an awesome 1-year opportunity for anyone. Well, I'd like to segue and talk a little bit about you. How did you get to come to work at our School of Public Health and Tropical Medicine?
So, funny enough, as an undergrad, I hadn't even heard of epidemiology. It wasn't until I got into the workforce and worked for a couple of years that I even heard about the field of epidemiology. And I became immediately intrigued and I wanted to learn more. And that's when I applied to Tulane's program and a few other programs. But after I did the MPH and PhD here in epidemiology, as I mentioned before, I went on to the University of Pennsylvania, had a wonderful opportunity to work there with some great mentors who do chronic kidney disease research, cardiovascular research, which is my particular area of interest. And then I stayed on as a faculty member. I was there at Penn for 11 years. But I had a wonderful opportunity arise to come back to Tulane, to
Right.
come back to New Orleans, and play a role in our Translational Science Institute and really bring a lot of people together. So I really enjoy bringing clinicians and epidemiologists and biostatisticians and informaticists together to try and tackle big health problems. And so I really welcomed the chance to come back.
Well, I'm happy you're back. Can you tell me if you find your work rewarding?
Absolutely. If you can't tell from the smile on my face, I love doing what I do. I think epidemiology is something that anyone who's interested in clinical problems, research, I had a background in biology and math and knew that I wanted to kind of look into scientific research. It's an area that's really exciting. It's an area where we can make discoveries, we can make observations of populations that have health disparities, who have health conditions that are still troubling clinicians and public health practitioners, but I feel like we have the opportunity to identify potential new therapies and improve the health and lives of people in our area, but also more broadly.
Well, when I engage with prospective students, epidemiology is very popular. So I'm happy to hear that. Well, thank you, Dr. Anderson, for that. I think right now we would like to open up the floor for questions for any prospective students or anyone interested in epidemiology or this program of clinical investigation about our city or about Tulane School of Public Health and Tropical Medicine. Please enter your questions now and we'll be able to chat with you about that live. Okay.
Okay, one question we have is, what is it about New Orleans that brought you back to the city?
New Orleans is one of my favorite cities. I love when I was away coming back to be able to visit, and again now to call it home. New Orleans is a vibrant city. There's always more than enough to do, but also there's just a great, the people here are amazing. The people at Tulane really make it worthwhile to come in every day and do what we do. And it's just such a friendly, outgoing atmosphere, and there's never, you're never wanting for things to do in New Orleans. There's wonderful experiences.
That's probably true. I am a native New Orleanian, so I think some of the charm is lost on me because I take it for granted.
Right.
I'm used to hearing Dixieland as I walk down the street or eating regular gumbo and those types of New Orleans cuisine is something I grew up with.
Yeah, when I was away and I caught any of that music, the Zydeco and things like that, it immediately brought me right back and made me miss New Orleans. So it's really good to be back.
Well, it's fun to get to see the city through the lens of a student that's on campus now, because I could see learned how our city has such a charm and a history.
Yes,
That's
it really does.
very vibrant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Do we have any other questions?
All right.
All right. Well, I think we'll end it there. I'd like to thank Dr. Anderson for joining me today and talking about the Masters of Science in Clinical Investigation and Epidemiology. And I want to thank you for joining us. My name is Suba Ross, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you.